There we go, we are live.
Many we in?
Five.
Five. Evening, folks. I'll just go do a wee brief introduction and then I'll be handing it over to Sarah and John below you. Thanks very much for coming in. I hope you're all good. As you see, my voice is nearly back to normal, but we'll get there. Tonight we're joined by John from G.S.I. Investigations. I'll let him just tell you a little. I'll get there eventually, guys. Trust me. Sorry. I'll let him just tell you a little bit about himself and what they do.
Right, guys. So I'm John, the co-owner and founder of G.S.I. G.S.I. Investigators. My partner Ralph, he's at work at the moment. He was hoping to come on, but unfortunately not. So hopefully you'll get to see him at another time. We started together in 2018, but we've both been interested in paranormal for roughly about 20 years. On the channel itself, we've got numerous ghost stories from when we were kids growing up to teenagers, adults, and paranormal things that have influenced our life really up to this point. I started working for the council, who Ralph worked for. We got talking one day, just said, should we go on a ghost hunt? He was like, yeah, I've got all the equipment. And then we went out. Next day, should we do a YouTube channel? Yeah, why not? 2 years later, here we are. So, yeah, fun and games.
Well, check the channel out, guys, because I've watched a few of the videos and they're spot on. So give them a wee subscribe. And feel free to drop your links in anytime you want. As always, it's just see who's in the chat, who's came in. Brett's here, Dobie's here, Nicole, Mr. Cat, Laura's here, Shrimp Shack is here. I don't think I've missed anybody, have I?
Yeah, I'll just look. Nicole, Laura.
No, I think I've got you all so far. So thanks very much for coming in, folks. To say my voice is nearly back to normal, but Sarah's going to be, the boss is going to be doing most of the questions. So I'll hand you over to Sarah and John.
Yep.
It's all yours.
So, the first question, how did you get into the paranormal?
How did we get into the paranormal? Well, like I say, it was always sort of like an interest through kids seeing different things and not being able to put two and two together, as it were. Always having an interest in horror films, and I think pretty much everyone in the group's got a passion for Halloween. So, we've always had that side growing up as kids up until adults. The thing that made me want to be a ghost hunter is when I worked at Alton Towers and I was fixing one of the rides. And if ever any of you have ever been to Alton Towers, it was the Hex ride. And we kept hearing noises coming from one of the main show buildings. So myself and another engineer locked it completely down, and I left my phone running in the pitch black, picked it up after lunch, listened back to it. There was footsteps, voices into the phone, all sorts. And I know nobody could have gone in to fake it because we completely locked it down and I had the only key. We were sat in the ride having our lunch, and people would have had to physically walk past us and through us to be able to get to where we'd managed to lock off. So ever since then, it was sort of like, yeah, I want to explore this a little bit more.
It's the kind of place that. So it's the kind of place I'd never think investigations are. An amusement park kind of thing. We've got one here.
The towers date back to 1400s, Scott. They're ancient. They was used in both the wars for the squaddies. It's highly active. The actual towers themselves, the Earls of Shrewsbury for generations resided there. So yeah, I think it was 1400s that was built. So it's ancient.
There's a lot of history. We've got it's closed down. It's an amusement park. It's about 5-6 miles from us, but it closed down a few years ago because one of the staff was tragically killed in a roller coaster, and that's said to be haunted. but yeah, it's like Fort Knox trying to get into the place. So, I'd like to get in and do an investigation in there, but it's safe for sort. It's just they've got security all over the place. But I'd like to get in there one day and try and do a wee investigation. Sorry, Sarah, just probably amusement parts.
So, if you could investigate anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I think the Japanese suicide forest would be number one on my bucket list. I think the place just looks insane, intense, and the spirits and the energy there must be probably anywhere you can get it. It's high as anywhere. So I think if we're ever going to get that concrete piece of evidence, for me, I think that'd be the place to get it.
I think I've read about that suicide forest. I know I've heard that. I'm sure I've read about it.
Google it, mate. It looks crazy. It looks insane.
I'll give that a wee look.
What is the worst paranormal experience you have had, if any?
What do you mean by worst? The scariest?
Just the scariest and basically.
I'd say the one that kind of sticks most in your mind.
Two. The first one was when I did a completely solo investigation at Codner Castle, the video that you've watched. I went back about a month ago and did a solo investigation, completely alone. And when I was in one of the rooms, it's almost like a giant milk churn, and you're stood inside it, if you get what I mean. I turned my torch out and I was doing a call out, so it was pitch black, and I got growling right in front of me. That guttural demonic growl stood right in front of me. So as you can imagine, that was code brown pretty quick. And the second one was actually Saturday just gone. We went to Oakhurst House. Don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's an amazing place in Ambergate in Derbyshire. It's like it right out of a horror movie. It looks like something out of the Blair Witch Project, the house. It's all run down. And I moved into a room. We'd managed to negotiate probably 2/3 of the house. So I moved into a room on my own. I heard footsteps behind me walking over the bricks. And James, my stepson, who's our cameraman, he was in the next room. So I shouted to him to bring the camera. He came round the corner, a huge intake of breath, said, "There's a face behind you." And then from across the room, Vicky shouted, "My God, John, there's somebody stood behind you." And of course, that was just like, oh shit, and just quickly turn around, That video will be out on the 18th of September, where you'll actually see that. Unfortunately, the camera doesn't pick the face up, but you can hear the footsteps and everything else, which leads up to that particular moment. The 18th of September, that one's out.
We'll make a note on that. Hey, Andy and Eli, I just noticed your names here. Thanks for coming in, guys. Hope you're good.
Okay, next question. So far, what is your favourite location to investigate?
Ooh, tough one. Favourite location. I'm probably going to have to say Clifton Woods, I think. Because every time we've been, it's highly renowned for witchcraft and things like that. And every time we've been, things just get worse and worse and worse. The last time we went was when we hit 500 subscribers. We did a Ouija board. It's in the centre of the wood. Got two spirits come through. The second one being a 14-year-old girl called Tara, who was heavily into Satanism. So things started to take a downhill turn very quickly. That video's on the channel as well at the moment. So we quickly had to shut that down. But every time we go, it's insane. The place is amazing. There's never a letdown when you go there. So
is that the one? There was two guys, two males and two females, two girls. Who are you? I watched one.
That's Chelsea and Vicky. Vicky's sort of like she's a Wiccan. She practices all witchcraft and things like that. Chelsea is scared of her own shadow, bless her, and she's trying to break that by coming out with us on a few investigations. I think Chelsea's been to Grace Dew Priory. Might be, was it that one that you watched? She's been there.
I've
And she's
watched
done
that
one
one.
other place as well.
There was one that I watched. It was Woods. Okay, I'll come back to the name of it. But there was 4 of you, two male and 2 female.
Not
And
Cannock
you were in
Chase.
there, it may have been Cannock Chase because you get quite a wee bit of activity,
Yeah.
quite a bit of noise. Behind you were standing in a clump of trees, one particular
That's
bit,
right.
and you could hear noises coming from behind you.
That's right. That's
Um,
Cannock Chase. Yeah.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Sorry.
Yeah, Clifton's sort of like a flatter version of Cannock Chase, but it just seems, even when you walk into the area, it's almost like you walk through a wall of energy, and everyone that walks
Mhm.
into it just says, I don't like it in here. Chelsea refuses to go up. Even in the daylight, she won't go up. So,
You can just feel the change in the atmosphere, basically.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
See, Greyfriars is like that. As soon as you walk in the gate of Greyfriars, you can just sense. Sarah sensed it as well.
Yeah.
You just so it's stepping back into the past.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Greyfriars sits in it's right in the centre of Edinburgh. It sits in one of the main routes in and out of Edinburgh. So like all day there's cars, buses, trucks, everything, tourists and everything. So that's quite a noisy wee area. But as soon as you step through the gates, it just everything just goes quiet, and it's as if you're back in time. So I think I love the atmosphere. I think it's an amazing atmosphere.
I got bored. Sorry, Andy's just sent a message. I got bored, mate, about a week ago, so I decided to decorate for Halloween. I'm making my own stuff outside in the garden. That's a big spider's web, and in the cage just behind me, just there, that's a real Mexican red-kneed tarantula called Eric. So I thought she'd like a little bit of company on the wall.
Oh, don't show Sarah that.
I don't do spiders.
I'm scared of house spiders, but I've got a tarantula. Try and work that one out.
That doesn't make sense, does it?
I have said that though. I don't like house spiders at all, but I think I'd be alright with a tarantula.
Yeah, strange, isn't it?
Hey, Deborah, thanks for coming in, though.
Have you ever experienced or came across a negative spirit?
Negative. Like I say, the growling when I was on my own at Codner Castle, I never take that as a good thing. That's, when it's guttural and animalistic, to me that doesn't sound good in a way. So I suppose that was negative, but we've never had anything. I mean, we've had a few people in the group affected. Myself was affected at Cannock Chase, James at Hermit's Cave, but never anything too malicious. So not, I suppose, just the growling at Codner Castle is probably the most negative thing that we've come across. I mean, even the satanic 14-year-old through the Ouija board seemed very respectful. So I can't even class her as negative,
Do you have a favourite piece of equipment?
I love my camera, my night vision camera, and the spirit box, the necrophonic spirit box we've got, I think is great. We've got about 4, and they're all sort of got the white noise in the background. We've got clean sweep. I think we've got clean sweep 2 and another one. And they've all got that hissing noise. It's scanning through frequencies where the necrophonic does away with all that. And it's so clear, everything you can hear. I love that. So yeah, that and my night vision camera are my 2 favourite bits.
We use the necrophonic quite a bit.
It's great. Don't you think it's great? I love it.
It is.
It is good. I used to love it. This is going to sound really weird and, just weird, but the spirit box, when it's scanning, the sort of hissing noise it makes. I actually used to find that when I used to watch programs on the TV, ghost hunting programs, I used to find that quite relaxing for some reason. I don't know why.
Some people do. Yeah, some people do.
I could sit and just listen to it for hours. Just that shh, constant. I know it sounds wacko, but, that useless information.
Yeah.
Have you ever been followed home by a spirit?
Yes, I think so, and I think it's still here because before I came on to you guys, I've just spent the last hour and a half editing part 2 to Oakfield House, and constantly out the corner of my eye, up basically where I'm sat at the table now, I can see things moving, just sort of like out the corner of my eye. I've had, when I've been going to work and it's dark in the mornings, I've had the kitchen lights switch themselves on and off 3 times. I just tell them to stop doing it. I ain't got time to mess about. I've got to go to work. And when I came home from the first time we did Clifton Woods, I came home and one of our cats just went completely off the scale, did things I've never seen her do before. So I took that as a good sign that something had followed me home. You know, so yeah, I think so. It's probably still here as well, but I don't mind it, to be honest. It doesn't do me any bother.
To see when you give any trouble, see when you tell it to stop it, do you find that it does stop? Or even if it's, temporary kind of thing? Do you find that does stop?
I get it. It's almost sort of like they're doing it for attention. Look, I'm here, sort of thing. And when you acknowledge that, yeah, I know you're there, just I haven't got time, stop doing it. It's like, all right. It's like you're talking to your children.
The reason I ask is because my old flat, I used to live myself in a flat, and I had a spirit in the flat, and I used to move my Buddhas about, slightly, turn my Buddhas, and I found my house keys moved one night, my remote control was moved, but one night I was watching the TV and my kitchen bin, the lid of the kitchen bin just came flying off, and I could see because the kitchen was right in front of me, and I lost the rag there, because I was trying to watch the telly, and the bin just came flying off. And I found after that, I'm not going to tell you what I said, but it wasn't too nice. But after that, it stopped.
Andy's asked if we use any incantations or protection when we're out on a hunt. Some of us. Vicky does all the runes. I never have protection ever. In fact, when we went to Oakhurst House Saturday, she drew what she considers the most powerful rune, which basically opens up a portal so you get full communication. She says, I'll do one of these because the one that heightens all your senses is not enough for you. So I made her draw 2 on me and put the heightened senses on both hands at the same time as well. I'm probably end up going to regret doing stuff like that one day, but for now, I do that. Ralph has the same as me. Vicky always uses protection because she knows better than us. She's the smart one of the group. James, the cameraman, he sometimes has protection because he's my stepson. If he doesn't, then his mum will give me a proper whooping, so I have to look after him when he's out with us. He's only 19, bless him. But yeah, some of the team do have protection. We all have runes, enhancement, and as possible, I have as much as I can get because I want the full experience.
Excellent.
There you go. Have you ever been scratched or hurt during an investigation?
Never been scratched. I haven't been hurt, but at Cannock Chase, I was almost put on my backside. It's the only way I can describe it is it wasn't like having an asthma attack, but it's like whatever was affecting me sucked all the wind out of me, if you get what I mean. And I was really struggling to breathe at the time, so I had to have a sit down, and I was taking lots of air in, deep intakes of breath, and that seemed to affect me for quite a lot of that investigation. That's the most I've been affected, but I've never been scratched. I've been touched on the back of the head once, just almost like just like that, just say, look, I'm stood behind you. But no pain as yet.
I know what you mean about the I mean, a lot of people don't think spirit can affect you, but it's amazing how it can affect you. It affected me. We went to a wee village called Douglas, and I picked up, I'm not going to get any details, but one of the guys that's in our team, Chris, I think he's in tonight, but I picked up on a male spirit, and I found myself not struggling for breath, but getting compressed and out of breath. And I told Chris knew he lives there basically, so he knew the person that I'd picked up on, and he says, "No, you're bang on with what you're telling me. But you do feel kind of, as you say, asthma attack, you just
Yeah.
can't breathe. If somebody just put a hand in and pull all the air out of you, so I totally get what you mean by that one.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was, and it was frightening. But I think it happened 3 times. Once it was like a big hit, and then twice more, but it was very, very minor. But I think on the third one, I started to get a little bit annoyed, and I think I said something quite harsh, and then it didn't happen after that. Funnily enough.
It's just like kids, you give them any trouble or you always are there, then they tend to behave. They're still there, but they've stopped doing whatever shenanigans that they were getting up to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Have you ever captured a spirit in photograph?
Not full apparition, no, but we have caught, or not in, or have we? Photograph, actually, I think we have. It's on our Instagram page. Before we did the investigation at Codner Castle, Ralph took his young lad up for a recce out of the place because it's disused and abandoned. And the farmhouse is quite notorious. I think they get quite a lot of most haunted experiences up there. And he was photographing one of the windows, and he took 2 pictures within the space of 1 second, where you get 2 quick clicks. In one picture, there's nothing. In the second one, there's a face, like a mist-like face. You can see the nose, the mouth. We've taken that to a professional photographer to see if it's any sort of light anomalies, anything shining out from the back. And he says, no, whatever you've taken a picture of was physically inside the house, showing itself to the window, and they can't explain it. So possibly, yes. That is on our Instagram page.
That would be... I watched that episode today, and I saw the bit you're talking about. It's a white mist, and then the next picture there's nothing there. And that was going to be one of our other questions to you as well, if that picture had been explained yet, because I was quite fascinated with it, and I was wondering if there'd been any, if it'd been explained or whatever. So you've answered 2 questions in one there, buddy. No, totally fine. But I was curious about that one. As I say, I watched it today, and I saw the 2 different images.
Yeah.
One's there, and the next one is gone.
That's right.
But that's quite interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not
Toby.
professional photographers, Vicky is, but she wasn't part of the group at the time, so we thought we'd better get a second opinion on this from someone who knows, what they're talking about. And they was astounded by it. They said, no, whatever you've caught is physically inside the house. And we was like, oh, wow. Exciting.
It is always good to get somebody else to look. I mean, I'm hopeless with the camera. Sarah will tell you I'm pants when it comes to filming and stuff. The camera's all over the place with me. And, we took some photographs and we says, well, is it? And is it? We took one at Canongate Cemetery a couple of months ago. Yeah. And when you look at the photograph, it actually looked like an image of a wizard. That's the best way I can describe it. And we put it up on it's another group there, and we put the picture up. We say, we caught this at Canongate. What do you think? We never said what we thought it was. What's your opinion? And so there was one guy. He got the photograph, and he done all sorts of things to it. And it was nice, brilliant guy. He came back to us and says it's actually a plant pot.
Oh.
And he showed us, he messed about with the photographs. That's where there it says it's a plant pot. So it was debunked, but it was just the actual image itself.
Yeah.
It was just the image itself. It looked like an old man, white beard, a wizard basically. But she's not, it's a plant pot. So
it's amazing what light can do to a photograph, though, to distort it. It really is.
We've got a few good ones at Greyfriars, and you can see the faces. And several people look at them, and they've all said the same thing as we have, that you can see the actual faces on the walls or the headstones, whatever. Which is it is amazing what light can do to it. Sorry, I know I said I wasn't going to talk, but
Yeah, you're right.
you know,
I love the name of the person who sent the next question, Dobby's Sock. I love that. That's great. Big Harry Potter fans. What sort of things did we encounter at Cannock Chase, and did we go near the German cemetery? We went for the German cemetery and ended up in completely the wrong place. So we ended up actually investigating a hidden part of Cannock Chase where I don't know if anybody has before, but it's never been recorded from what we can find anyway. It was very active for footsteps, and whenever we went down some of the cycle paths, and there was a constant feeling of being watched from behind, and we kept hearing noises. I think 3 or 4 of the team, myself included, saw figures. Now, when I say figures, it's almost like, you know, if you see somebody peering from either just sort of like peering out from behind a tree, or they're just looking over something, parts of a figure like that in different locations up at the top of the hills. We caught a huge orb, which was almost like, Ralph put a name to it, but I can't remember what it was called now, but we think it was part of a manifestation. It was massive. There was no wind that night, and it's actually traveling uphill. That's one of the best orb finds we've got to date. And yeah, it was more audio phenomenon than anything else. Nicole, did you get any weird Class A EVPs? I'm going to sound like a right noob now, but what's a Class A EVP?
Brad, you say hi to Sammy and Beat Beat has noticed they're in. Uncle Fester says hello, Sammy.
Maybe it's a really clear EVP.
Yeah, constantly. We get them all the time. We had a brilliant one on the Necrophonic at Oakhurst house. Ralph, I mean, we get many come through, but Ralph asked, what building are we currently in? And 2 voices came through, one after the first one said Oak, the second one said Hurst. So, I mean, for us, we've just looked at each other like, okay then, spot on. But we get things like that all the time, you know. The really clear EVPs through the Necrophonic are great.
That's the one Sarah used. Sarah does all the gadgets. Sam thick as mince when it comes to gadgets.
If you go to a location and get nothing, what do you do?
Persevere. If we spend the entire night and we get nothing, we still put a video up on the channel. It'll be very short and it'll be explained why. But as we always say to people that watch our videos, if we get nothing on the night, you're going to get a really short, boring video. But at least you'll see that we was trying to do, you know, trying to make the effort, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. As Ralph always says, ghost hunting is very much like fishing. You can go to one location and get nothing. If you go back the next day, it's teeming. You know, it's heavy with activity. And we've gone back to places where we've found they've been absolutely dead, and it's been insane the next time. You know, so we'll still put the video out. We'll do our best to try and draw something through. We'll put it on the back burner and go back a couple of months later and see if anything's changed.
Exactly. I mean, as you say, it's like fishing. You know, we've been in Grey Friars, I don't know how many times, dozens of times, and sometimes you walk in and I'll pick up on something. Other days, walk in and you can sense the spirit as soon as you walk in, but none of them kind of stick out to you.
Yeah.
You know, if that makes sense. So, you know, as you say, some days you get nothing. Some days, as everybody in the paranormal world knows, it's down to spirit at the end of the day if they want to actually talk to you or not. If they don't, then they'll stay in the background out the way.
Absolutely. Well, we run subscriber investigations free of charge for people who subscribe to us on YouTube. All they have to do is make their way down to the location. They can come out with a team, use all the equipment. One of the things that we must tell them, and we always do, is we cannot guarantee any activity. The spirits are not performing monkeys. They either will or they won't, but that's up to them. You know, they have to be clear on that, because sometimes, yeah, it's quiet and there's nothing you can do about it. If they don't want to talk to you, they won't talk to you.
That's a good idea, that. subscribers coming down, and because it gives them a wee insight to what actually, you know,
Yeah.
the paranormal's about, and what actually goes on in an investigation. And you say you do warn them, you might get nothing, you know. So that's it. We're not going to copy or anything, don't worry, buddy, but it's quite a good wee idea, that thing.
Whatever works for you, mate. If you want to invite the people to your channel to some of your ghosts, but by all means, go ahead and do it, mate. We're all here to help each other at the end of the day. We're all looking for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as I'm concerned, we're all family. If we can help each other, we will.
We did want to, we were in the process of organising for Halloween an investigation at Greyfriars in Edinburgh, and taking like 15 people, and just giving them not so much as an investigation, just letting them see what goes on in the investigation. But we found out about 2 weeks ago that the council have stopped investigations. They're banned them basically in Greyfriars and the Covenanters prison, so that's kind of bombed out now. But to me, if you get a chance to educate somebody or give them that little bit of insight into the paranormal, then I think it goes quite a long way with them, because there's far too, in the media these days, I think there's far too much comes over that's not true. It gives people a false perspective, and especially with young ones, like teenagers and that want to get into it. They think it's just a case of grabbing a Ouija board and going to a graveyard, after a few beers on a Friday night. Yeah. And, I saw it in a film, so we'll go and try it. And you know yourself, it doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean? No, sorry, folks, I'm talk too much. Carry on.
That's all the questions finished anyway, so I've just asked the people in the chat if they've got any more.
Okay. Mind and drop your links, folks, and check these guys out. They are the real deal. They are really, really good at what they do. They've got loads of video on YouTube, and they're all quite interesting. I'm working my way through them. I didn't realise you had that many on YouTube.
Well, if you start at the start, I mean, I had a quick flick through the other day. I think our first investigation was February 2019, but we formed in 2018, which is why that's on the logo. If you look at the first videos and then sort of like skip forward 5 at a time, the transition and the evolution to where we are today has happened so fast. And to some guys running around with a video camera at the lowest quality you can get, to what we actually got now. It actually still sort of amazes me when you look at how it's evolved, how quickly the quality of the videos have improved and things like that. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly. I mean, our videos aren't great. I've done quite a bit of sound technical here, but quite a bit of camera work, or whatever you call it, And Sarah will tell you, I don't know what it is, Mark, but it tends to kind of, go like this every time when I'm filming. It's as if I'm sitting in a roller coaster. But I think I done the first ever walk round in Canongate. I used my phone, and at the time, I thought it was, good. But see, when I sat and watched it, I thought that's a fucking mess. Excuse the French. You know what I mean? It was just, you couldn't see a thing, and the whole way around. But I think I've got a wee bit better. I'm not too sure. Sarah's quite a daft hand with the camera. But as you say, it's amazing as time goes on. I mean, hopefully, we'll still be around in a year or two, and hopefully we'll be with user just now. Excuse me. But it's all about getting out there and just improving it. The more we do it, the better we'll get.
That's how it evolves. Sorry, Nicole. Have we been investigating other countries? Actually, no, not yet. We've had invites to Wales, invites up to Scotland, Invites over to America. We've had one to Africa, Italy. We've been asked to go over to, I think it was Prague. It's expensive. So unfortunately, we can't do those things at the moment. I mean, Wales and Scotland, definitely, they'll be on the list because, you know, they're part of home, aren't they? But actually getting on a plane or a boat and going somewhere else at the moment, it's on our list to do. Unfortunately not, but definitely we will be getting to it at some point. So everyone's very kind and saying, come over, we'll show you around, do this. You know, everyone's been great, and we will take somebody up on that offer at some point.
We were organising just before, you know, everything happened. To get down to Wales, we friendly with a group down in Wales, and we were meant to be going down there. But unfortunately, as events took place, so we were going down to Chepstow, probably early next year now. Obviously, with Halloween and Christmas and that coming up, it's not going to be feasible. So we're hoping early next year we'll be going down to Chepstow. It's a team called Ghost Ramblers. So we're going down. Fingers crossed, we're going to be heading down there. We'll be stopping off to see Dobie as well. We're hopefully going to Pendle Hill on the way down.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, we can add Belgium to the list as well now. That sounds perfect. Cookies and coffee, you can't go wrong. Absolutely.
Nicole loves her coffee. Nicole, she's a coffee freak, same as me.
Yeah, same as me. I am as well. So the lads bought me a big sort of like sack of, it's called fucking Strong Coffee, and it's in the cupboard at the moment. It's great. It's brilliant stuff. But yeah, I'm a bit of a coffee snob myself. D-Day beaches in France, or one of the war graves. That would be amazing. Yeah, you can imagine what you'd pick up there. I mean, you'd be emotional just walking to them places, regardless of feeling any energies or spirits and things, won't you? For past histories and things. So I think that'd probably put you in the right frame of mind for it, because you'll be attuned to the energies then. I think more than any other time, I'd probably say. So yeah, that'd be a great thing to do, and that would probably be over what we could do, short jolly by boat, I think, over to France.
Yep.
Boat of the tunnel. Boat of the tunnel. Irish coffee is best. Beep beep. See the Mansfield cemetery. The Mansfield cemetery. I don't know if I pronounced that right or not. You get quite a bit of activity there. What kind of feelings did you get when you were in there?
Unfortunately, I'm sourcing a brand new mic at the moment for our camera because it doesn't pick everything up. But as you're walking around, you can constantly hear footsteps all around you, especially on the paths. But it's shuffling of feet. It's not like or spirits have got big clumpy boots or shoes on. It's shuffling of feet to get your attention, and it's constant. It's all the time. We've had the most voice phenomena we've ever caught there. I think in the one night we had 5 occasions where the team had voices either whispered to them or spoke in their ear. And James, I think if you watch Mansfield Cemetery Part 2 trailer, which is on the channel, at the end of it, you'll hear my stepson James shout, "Oh my God." He's the skeptic of the group. He debunks everything, and he had a voice on his right shoulder whisper something in his ear, and it freaked him out completely. So yeah, it's a constant feeling of you're being followed. You've got people around you constantly. You can hear shuffling of feet all around you. There was light anomalies moving across some of the graves. It's a great place. It really is. And we only covered half of it. We're going to go back and do a full investigation, because my son who was with us, Theo, that was his first time out. And I think by the end of it, he wanted to go, and we'd only covered half of it. So out of respect for him, we said, all right, mate, we'll take you to the exit and we'll leave it. He was very brave, bless him. I mean, he's only He's only 11
Mhm.
years old, so he did well.
Well, that obviously at 11 years old, he's going to be, it's quite understandable.
Yeah.
At least he came out and he gave it a go. That's the main thing. They did actually come out and.
Yeah, he wanted to give it a go, and we thought that one would be a good starter for him, as it's not too scary. It turns out that it was constant activity, and that's what freaked him out the most, as I had no idea it could get so active. Well, yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is.
Our little girl, she's 4, she absolutely loves everything to do with paranormal. She classes herself as a ghostbuster and she absolutely loves it. And we'll take her out, but obviously we only take her to like the local churches and stuff. We don't take her to anywhere that we know is like really, really
Yeah.
active. We just take her to like churches, and there's one particular church that she is absolutely drawn to. She's been there about 5 times in the last couple of months, and there's one headstone in particular where me and Scott was away around doing a kind of walkabout kind of thing, and me and my wee girl was like, right, we'll go another wee walk and see if we find anything. And she physically dragged me over to this one particular grave, and she stood there for ages, and then she turned around and said to me, "Mummy, why are you playing with my hair?" I was like, "I'm not playing with your hair." She's like, "Mummy, something's touching my hair."
Wow.
And then she turned around, clear as day, without being scared or anything, and said, "It's okay, spirits, if you want to talk to me, I will be your friend."
Oh, wow. Oh, bless her. That's great, isn't it?
So that's her ever since that day. She's like, "Mummy, when are we going out ghost hunting? When are we going out?"
Can I just emphasise that we take her out during the day?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's probably the best thing to do.
I just wanted to point out that we take her out during the day. We don't take her out in the dead of the night to an old cemetery or anything like that.
Oh, bless her. No,
I just wanted to let everybody know that, we don't drag her out of bed at 1 or 2 in the morning and say, right, we're off to Greyfriars or something like that. Come on, let's go,
Yeah.
But no, she loves it.
Dobbies, actually, myself and Ralph were talking about this on Tuesday. We've researched it. We've had a look at the, we've come up with a map, what we're going to traverse. So in the next week or two, that is the next one that we're going to be doing. We've got, in fact, that'll probably be November. In October, I think we've got 4 subscriber investigations to get through. Any Halloween events as well as doing our own thing, like I say, and families and stuff. So come November, that one will be the first one that we're going to hit, the Plague Village. It's already on the list. I've heard it's an amazing place, so I can't wait.
So how many exactly is there in your team?
We have 5 full-timers and 2 part-timers. Chelsea and Rob are the part-timers, and then full-time team members. There's myself and Ralph, who are the lead investigators, Vicky, James, and James. We've got 2 Jameses, young James and old James. Young James is the cameraman and the skeptic. And I think old James just comes to get away from his missus, to be honest, for a bit of peace and quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll never tell her that. He tells me that, but he'll never tell her that. Have we been to Clophill Church? We haven't. No.
Have you ever been to Clophill?
No, where's that? I've not heard of that place before.
No idea.
No. Although I will research it now and see if it's worth going. But yeah, I mean, people just constantly send us try here, try here, try here. So we've got a list, a massive list of about 50, 60 locations at the moment that we're trying to work through. We're hoping to get up to East Drive in March as well. That's supposed to be a good place.
I think that'd be a good one to. I've seen a few various teams do investigations there. and that just we like unfortunately we're up in Scotland, you know, so it's kind of a wee bit further away for us. But I'd like to get down there. But as you say, there is literally hundreds and hundreds of locations everywhere.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. East of Oxford and a bit higher.
Well, we'll look into that one. Thanks for
East
that.
of Oxford, a bit higher, very haunted apparently.
Yeah, I'll add that one to the list and do, well...
Have you ever investigated...
Sorry, go on. Sorry, Scott, what are you saying, bud?
Have you ever investigated any roads? Have you ever investigated any roads?
Roads, any roads? I want to say no, but I've got a feeling there's a road somewhere when we was on the way to one of the locations that had apparent activity. Did we stop at it? I don't think we did. We must have just said, you know, this is famous for blah, 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 and we were carried on through to wherever we were going. It does ring a bell. That we've had it sort of on the list to do one, but no, I don't think we have, Scott. No,
because we're planning to do it's called A75 in Dumfriesshire. It's Kinmount Street. It's called. It's very be the most haunted road in Scotland. Just this one section of it. We're planning doing an investigation down there, but we're saying try to fit it in. It's better to get the time, so but we're going to go down, and because I know everybody tends to stick to you know, like churches, graveyards, you know, that all that kind of thing. So we're going to be going down there, and it's maybe about an hour and a half away there. So it's not miles and miles away, you know. And we'll be doing a video of that one. So look forward to that one.
Always talk about demonic spirits. There's anything. Nicole, no, definitely not. All of them are not demonic. I think a lot of them, or probably the massive majority, are how they were when they passed away. You get the young, the old, the people that have got a constant chip on the shoulder, those that would go out of their way to help the little old lady across the street. You know, as you pass over, I believe that you retain some of that. So I believe there are demonic spirits out there, but they're very few and far between. They will also sort of disguise themselves as the thing that they think they can get to you the most. So, you know, if you're a dad or a mum, they'll try and come across as a child and play on your emotions in some way to get you to trust in them that way. So you do have to be careful, especially on Ouija boards, when you're getting certain spirits coming through. But no, I believe most spirits are either how they are when they pass over, as you know, as we are in every day. You get all walks of people in walks of life, don't you? The good, the bad, and whatever. But there's the other as well, you know, as in the demons and stuff like that. And that's the things that we really don't know too much about, you know. I mean, we try and make notes and come up with a lot of theories when we're doing investigations, and we find that certain spirits react to different members of the team better. So, for instance, if you've got young children that we find coming through, they won't give me or Ralph the time of day, but they'll go to Vicky or Chelsea because they're the motherly instinct sort of thing. You know, they're female and the child finds that warm, so they'll open up to them, and they get a lot of activity. If it's men, we believe that some of them come through us. They want the banter, or you know, these will understand what I'm talking. And it's very strange, but we made a lot of notes and come up with quite a few theories along them lines. I believe some spirits can get angry because they don't hear them or notice them, so can be evil but not demonic. Evil. It depends what you define, Nicole, as evil. I mean, if the person was horrible in their life, if you're not showing them attention as they are as a spirit, then yeah, they may well get violent or just be as they were as a person. You know, I don't like speaking about women beaters and things like that, but if there was a spirit that used to do that when they was alive, maybe they will still try and do that as a spirit. So I suppose in a way, it's, evil. I always put evil as, demons and things like that. So I would class that as negative and certainly not very nice. Yeah. And if you have encountered one of them and you're not giving attention, yeah, they may well turn violent. But again, they're very few and far between. I've not seen really many of them at all, to be honest. I don't know about you two guys.
I've always been in the belief that the only difference between the sort of living in the past is there's Andy, and that's the live gone south now, young man. The only difference is the lack of the physical body.
Precisely. Exactly.
If you excuse the French, if you were a bastard to you, be a bastard over there. We take everything ways except your physical body. That's the way I see it. So as you say, like you were saying about women beaters and whatnot, then to me they'll be still the exact same frame of mind.
Precisely.
After the passing away here. That's basically it. Good evening, Andy. Thank you for coming in.
Good evening, Scott. Someone left the door open.
Well, that will be happening again. That will be happening again.
Yeah, I told you to get new locks on there after I picked the last one so quick.
So, John, is there any location in Britain that you wouldn't investigate?
No.
Nowhere at all.
No, I mean, if there was the worst kind of stories and the worst kind of evidence where really bad things had happened, no, we'd still go. In fact, I'd probably do it on my own, to be honest. The stronger and the more documented evidence, the more we want to go, sort of thing. So, yeah, the worse it appears to be, the more it makes us want to go and do it.
That's something else I was going to ask you about loan investigations. You see a lot of people, you hear a lot of people saying, oh, never go on your own. You always need to be with someone. What do you think about loan? I mean, I'll go anywhere myself, whether it's a forest, a castle, a graveyard, doesn't matter. What's your kind of outlook on it?
Well, what we do is we have, I mean, it's a term, but we say like a security team or a help team, which is basically if Ralph's doing something on his own, it'll be me. If I'm doing something on my own, it'll be him. I did Codnor Castle completely on my own, and what actually struck me is, because it's a derelict building, if I was to, say, twist my ankle, for example, I'm 30 minutes walk away from any civilization. What am I supposed to do? Do you know what I mean? So we take somebody now with sort of like a security team, if you like. A, in case the local idiots are out, we can get rid of them. And B, if the other person injures themselves for whatever reason, then they've got help that's probably say about a quarter of a mile away, that they're nearby, a phone call away, where they can be there in just a minute or two. But they are left to do the investigation completely alone. But I would strongly recommend taking somebody on the off chance that, just if you get injured, because you don't want that, and being on your own in the middle of nowhere, it's not going to be good for you.
Scary.
It's no ideal. You mentioned, we were talking about Codnor Castle. I've watched it quite a few times, various, documentaries with different teams and what have you, and the image I get, the feeling I get when I'm watching it is as soon as you enter the kind of courtyard, for want of a better word, as soon as you get, there's a whole different atmosphere. As soon as you walk out, step onto the ground, basically.
We've not found that, to be honest.
I've always felt...
The courtyard area, around the castle itself and the courtyard area, it feels quite serene because you've got some nice views and things around you, so it actually feels quite relaxing. It's when you get closer to the buildings, especially if you go further away from the farmhouse and go to where sort of like I don't know whether there were sort of like cattle sheds and stuff like that. When you go over that area, that's where you feel it change, especially as you get close. The closer you get to it, the more on edge you just seem to become straight away. Do you know what I mean? It's very strange, but Yeah, there's a feeling of being watched as you're walking towards it. But when you're actually in the courtyard itself, it doesn't feel bad at all. No, it don't feel too bad.
Right.
Very
So
interesting.
sometimes I've watched and I felt kind of if it would be a lot more eerie sort of thing. I just want to see if anybody's got any other questions in the comments.
Don't think so.
Eli. I'm not taking no one to the bathroom with me. I might scare them. Maybe.
Read into that what you will.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that one, Eli. I do apologise. You know, maybe I don't know. I can't answer that one. Maybe Andy, John, Nicole, Sarah might have a solution.
No.
I don't know.
You can always tell the ex-rent boys, can't you?
Well, that's it. Andy, did you say in the comments before that you knew John?
No, it was Beep that had said that he'd been subscribed for a while.
Huh?
Oh, is that what it was? I picked that up wrong.
Yeah, don't stitch me up, Scott.
Well, I'm hoping you'll be subscribed after tonight.
Yeah, please do, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Feel free to drop your. I don't know if you can drop your link in. I know John or Sarah will do it for you.
I've been putting it in the chat.
That'd be brilliant if you could.
It's G.S.I. Sorry, Joe, I forgot what it is. My name.
Investigators.
That's what it is. Check him out on YouTube as well. Absolutely brilliant. We're hoping to get them all on in the nearest future.
Definitely,
all of them together.
I'll make sure you get at least half a team on here for you, Scott. So don't worry, I'll kick their asses for you.
So something else I've been kind of toying with is the idea of a joint live for different locations. I'm not sure how the mechanics of that would work. I don't know if it's something you would be interested in trying it.
Definitely be interested. Yeah, if you can get it to work. I mean, because I really wouldn't know how that goes, but to be honest,
it's easier than you think, John. You go live using StreamYards. Scott goes live using StreamYards, and you bounce in and out of each other's panel.
Oh, okay. So I've never done anything like that before, Andy, but I'm sure I could learn it easy enough. Yeah, that sounds easy enough, bud.
Yeah.
Right. So, if it's okay, guys,
John,
that sounds like my boss has
just
come. Oh, sorry, no, go for it, Nicole. My wife's just popping in, so one more. Go on.
Excuse me, Billy.
I'll be quick. You told about someone following you to your home. He's still a male. That's what I can sense. But he's very curious about what you guys are doing. Like, it's not evil, but it's a male.
Yeah, I got that impression when I.
Yeah, but nothing
when I got home.
else I can sense.
No, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind it being here. You know, I'm not sure if my wife disagrees, but
no, he would. Okay, but that's what I wanted to tell you because that's what I sense. So.
Okay, I appreciate that, Nicole. Thank you very much.
Interesting talk.
That spider web is so freaked me out. I can't do spiders.
Do you want to see the real spider?
No, I don't.
Won't be a minute.
Well, you go and see, and you know, go on with stuff. Thanks very much for coming in, and I'll message that thing to you tomorrow, buddy. That other link to you tomorrow, and we'll definitely look into doing this joint investigation. I think that would be a good one. All right, my friend. So my best to you and all your team. Thanks very much for coming in, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Sarah. And thanks for joining us, guys. Appreciate it. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Now I'm left with the
That was interesting. Yeah, those guys are.
Your voice today, Scott?
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday. to Sarah.
It's actually a lot better
Queen,
today.
happy birthday to you. Yay!
Oh, thank
That's
you.
good. Well, it's not good, really.
That's the live gone. That's the live gone. No, Andy, it's actually a lot better. It's still a wee bit rough sounding, but it's a lot better than it was yesterday, I'll tell you that much.
It's your voice, of course it's rough sounding.
No, what I mean is the throat's still a bit rough.
All right. I told you.
Don't you make me bring Granny out?
Yeah.
I told you.
She had a synchronized swimming contest in a paddling pool today, so she's a wee bit worn out from that.
She had a bad mood.
She got a silver medal, so she's not in the best of moods because she expected to win. You know, there was only 2 of them in the paddling pool at the same time, and she got second place.
Thank you, Dobby. We try
and he misses her so much.
We try and give you stuff that's interesting and not the same stuff every time.
Thank you very much, Dobby. Well, Nicole, Andy will only need to miss it until tomorrow night because we're doing the Eddie and Granny show tomorrow night.
Yes, I know, and I've just got to clear it with the doctors. I've had permission from the boss. I may be allowed to go and play. But the boss has been female. They're pretty fickle critters. So
because Missy's having some technical issues with her computer or whatever. Sarah will tell you, I don't know. So Eddie and I were chatting earlier on, and we decided to. It was actually your idea, Nicole. Actually, can we think it? Was it not?
I have good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
So Granny and Eddie had a wee conflab, and we decided tomorrow night and Friday night for an hour we're going to do the Eddie and Granny show. Possibly maybe let Andy in if he behaves, you know. Because Granny...
Yes, if he behaves.
Well, Granny, to give you any bother, last week, remember, because you were talking over her, and she can't stand that. Aye, exactly. You got a visual slapping the chops in front of everybody, because you were talking over her.
I'll try and get you some blotting paper up in the post for Granny.
No, she doesn't need that now. Doesn't need that now. Don't start me and Granny. She's in a bad mood. They say she gets second prize in a synchronised swimming. She got a skateboarding competition tomorrow as well, so she's trying to rest up for that. She's skateboarding at the local duck pond. You know what I mean? So, exactly. No, they've emptied the pond. So she's skateboarding tomorrow, so we're trying to keep it quiet in here. Because she doesn't like a lot of noise. She's an old lady. I mean, what was I saying in the comments? Who's in the chat? Enjoyed that. Cheers, guys. You're welcome, Brett. Anytime.
Hey, Drew.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Hi, Drew. Hope you're well. I'll let Sarah talk to you, or Andy and Nicole talk to you for a bit, because my voice is a wee bit crackly. She's in there. She's in there. We got tingly. If he's one in the pain. You are
taking it too far down the throat. I told you to stop with them cigarettes.
And I told you to keep it clean.
Oh, fags. That was the word I used. Stop with the fags.
See, that's the thing. My voice was buggered. But my throat wasn't sore. But it's a wee bit sore tonight. But I'm still smoking. Own worst enemy, I know.
Sarah, lock your fingers in a dead straight position. Then go next door, just jab Scott in the throat. Then he's, I've got a sore throat as well now. Granny, maybe, you know.
That's a good idea.
Oh, you're going to get both barrels off of Granny tomorrow night, sunshine.
Granny's got a particularly soft, sweaty spot for me.
Well, you are Granny's new husband.
You what?
Andy is your new husband.
I am.
Is he fuck?
When the fuck did that happen?
When me and Nicole decided.
Ah, right. In other words, you had a vote and we lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, Andy is going to be Granny's new husband. That means... What does it mean, Sarah?
I don't know. You
babies.
Yeah. Everybody's fucked.
It means, Nicole, you will be Granny's daughter-in-law.
Can't you get Granny?
I think you will be Granny's daughter-in-law.
No, if Andy marries Granny, then I'm Andy's mistress.
Still be Granny.
That's not well. But you have to say grandfather to Andy.
Yes, behave, son.
Why? You'd be Andy's mistress, so you would. You'd be the other woman.
You'd be the one that mocks Andy
concubine.
At 4 in the morning.
I'm the other woman. Oh my god.
Yeah, so we're going to live stream it. We're going to live stream the wedding.
We'll come to the wedding.
Everybody's Granny is in retirement. No, Granny's coming out of retirement too. Tomorrow night she's. What did they say? She's back on your screens or whatever it is.
Granny in the airwaves.
In the airwaves, in the ether, whatever it is. Granny will be back then. And then
you do realise
she's got her own...
this will be a Scottish wedding, and you'll have to pay to get in. And as Scott's running the bar, I can guarantee it's going to be expensive for a drink.
You need to pay to get back out as well.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that one.
No, just in. You need to pay to get back out as well. Can I tell you, Drew? No, Drew, tomorrow night, because Missy's not able to go live the rest of the week, Granny and Eddie, maybe Andy, will see how we feel, you know. See what happens.
Whether you want to slump or not.
Granny and Eddie, it's going to be Eddie and Granny on Eddie's channel tomorrow night and Friday night at 7 o'clock our time. So, she's getting her own show as well. She's starting her own show next week.
Good.
She's floating that idea, right? Granny's Agony.
What's wrong with that, Dubby?
Oh, yes, Dubbies. That should be nice.
Apart from the fact I've got chicken legs.
I think every Scotsman does.
Do I have to wear anything under the kilt, or have I got to be traditional about it?
You get chicken legs, Scott, what are you talking about?
Well, my legs go all the way up to my arse. My legs are fine. They keep me upright. That's the main thing. If I wake up one morning and they're not there, then I'll worry about it. Until then, I'm not going to. I need to take my medication.
Hi, Ben. Yeah.
Who's saying what in the chat? Is anybody missing me? You're always Miss Beth.
The only reason I can't, or I keep missing Beth, is because it is such a long distance to try and shoot around from England to America.
But that G.S.I is an interesting team. They've got a lot of good videos on YouTube. I was watching some of them today, and definitely worth a look. But we're going to try that joint.
I knew
Am I not even allowed to wear me
because I saw some. Huh?
No underwear allowed, Andy.
What, Andy?
That's what I said. Am I not even allowed to wear my thong?
Hey, Beth.
No. You have to be naked under your kilt, Andy.
Andy, that conjures up so many images and none of them are good. I mean, none of them are nice images. Who wants to see Andy in a kilt? We've all seen him in waders.
It's not a maggot, I promise.
Me?
Nicole got a thrill at the wedding. Nicole might get a fright at the wedding.
No, I would love to see the kilts and then arrange them up. That should be nice. Oh yeah.
Brett says he's puking.
Don't worry, Brett.
Yeah, Brett's jealous because Andy's got. Every guy has a crush on.
Everybody seems to have a crush on Granny. It's quite weird.
I would.
Yeah, every guy.
It's, to me, that's quite a strange thing.
You're dreaming about her, Andy.
Pardon? What about her?
Always dreaming.
You always dream about Granny. You wake up, Granny, oh, where are you?
Thank God for that. There's puddles of sweat I'm waking up in.
That says a lot for Granny, doesn't it? You're not.
Even Brett has a crush on Granny.
Double teaming Brett.
Do you really need to take a conversation that low?
I just said double teaming.
That's fine, Dobie. I'm sure Granny would love a couple of curtains stuck together. Oh, there she is there. Bless her wee bum. Look, there she's there. Right.
Cool, Sarah.
She's a lovely wee soul. She really is. She's an ugly bitch. That's what she is.
She's just as good looking as you are with the light off, Scott.
Are you be told to say that again? Brett, she's fit as. Go on, Brett, finish that sentence. She's fit as what?
Crying his eyes out.
Granny's went for that ugly thing.
Oh my God. Cool.
That was near on her best. That was near on her best day. That first one, she was, she just kind of threw it together. That was near her best day. She was just with the hairdresser then.
Yeah, she made more of an effort on that day. You can see where she's ironed all the wrinkles out.
Well, she'd just been at the hairdresser, she says, and she forgot what time it was, so she to run out.
Oh, Jesus.
It's like, there you go, Brett.
That's not me. That's not me.
Yeah, bollocks.
Say that, put that back up and show them that that's not me.
Nope.
That is not me.
Scott,
that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
Dying with that statement, Andy. That, see, that, put it down a wee bit so you can see the face.
Yeah, Granny should wear that. It's cool.
Granny's got a six-pack in that. Is she?
It's more like a bargain barrel.
That's what the synchronized swimming, that's what that does. That's what the synchronized swimming that she does. Wee six-pack there. Granny looks quite impressive in that for a wee Arnie Schwarzenegger by the looks of that. Right. I'll be back. Don't fuck with Granny.
I was thinking more of that film, The Wanderers. Did you ever watch that?
Oh, my dad told me about that a long time ago.
Don't fuck with the baldies.
I remember, I really sure. Quite like that as well. I vaguely remember that film for 1913. Okay, Drew.
My dear Granny can remember the introduction of the silent films.
No, she couldn't hear them.
Look at
Couldn't
it,
hear
Granny.
them.
Where is Granny? Look.
That's Photoshop, guys. You can clearly tell. That's Photoshopped. That's not
Looks
Granny
more like
likes her
porn.
cardigan.
Looks more like pawn shop to me.
Granny likes her. There's 50 Shades of Sammy, who says I'm her Uncle Fester. So I'm family now to Sammy, which is quite endearing. What else we got in?
Wolf.
There is quite a resemblance, but in it, me to Uncle Fester. I mean, I've always said I'm an ugly bastard. I don't care. I don't care. I'm a prince underneath. You know what I'm saying, Andy?
What? PRINTS?
Aye, one of them. One of them. It's my teeth. I need to fix my teeth before I'm eating a locket.
You lock it. I'll be careful of them. Some
Aye,
of them
lock
mental.
it.
Some
I
of them
don't
are
usually eat them,
mental.
but it needs be just now. I need to keep the voice in check. That's where my other packet went.
Don't you mean that's where you left your other packet? Within Sarah's reach.
Exactly.
Mrs. Tea Leaf.
So it's your own fault for leaving it available for Sarah to leave the bloody thing.
Just because it's her birthday. You can't be stealing my locket.
You should be ashamed of yourself putting temptation in Sarah's way like that.
What's it? Is that Nicole in that picture?
Yep.
Yeah.
Done up as an ABBA fan.
Made by a real photographer. That's me.
That's Nicole 68 years ago.
Oh, I knew. Behave. No, that's
You going to take that off him, Nicole?
Huh?
Are you going to take that off him?
It's quite easy for Nicole because I'm her toy boy.
Okay.
You're my toy boy. I'm your pimp.
Right, okay.
I'm your manager. Your
I've even got my own teeth if I could remember where I put them.
So, what's next on the agenda, Sarah?
Tomorrow.
I nearly lost my locket, sorry. I nearly lost my sweetie. Tomorrow night we're live again at 10:30. A wee bit later, but wee Natalie for Ghost Ramblers is coming on to talk about paranormal and our witchy stuff. So we're looking forward to that.
Cool.
She's right in that's another good channel and good page, Ghost Ramblers. Give them a wee check out. Wee Natalie, she does quite a bit. She works out. She's a fantastic photographer. See some of the photographs that she's got on her page. They're absolutely amazing. A lot better than mine.
Yeah.
But then that's no hard to get better than my photos.
Well, no.
Miami could take better photos than me.
Miami does take better photos than you.
She does. She does. She's quite a wee vlogger now. Is her 4-year-old? I believe that's Sarah's fault. She's going into vlogging and all the rest of it.
It's not my fault.
There's no need for that language.
She said for coughs and colds, take lockets.
Exactly, Andy.
Aye. She said it in Scottish, but you know what I mean? No English, she said it in Scottish. No need for that language.
Doesn't matter what. I just look at and it's still busy.
Oh, shit, God, it's fucking mud. It's absolutely murder. I'm saying.
Yeah, you need a cigarette.
Do you want me to send you some menthol, Scott? Seriously, menthol question. Have you got like an oil burner or something like that you put scented oils on, put a candle underneath to heat it?
No, but I'm sure
me personally, no.
Or an old cup, just pour boiling water over a teaspoonful of them. They would clear the air like crazy. There's pure menthol crystal.
Well, we've got actually something to clear the air and clear the room. It's called our two kittens when they fart.
Oh. Second-hand
cat
feed.
Nicole was asking when is Granny going to do a ghost investigation? That's actually a good question, Nicole. Don't know.
Gets arrested.
But she has to think.
Glasgow that the gay community would welcome Granny into.
There's no answer. I'm not even going to talk to him. I'm just going to forget that. I'm going to kid on that bottom corner's black. You know, blacked out, gone. She's gone.
That's not nice.
It's because I'm black, isn't it?
Is it because you're English? Not at all. Not at all. Nothing against English. That brick wall across the border wouldn't solve.
It's got nothing to do with me being English. It's got everything to do with me being a cunt.
Well,
that's what he's trying to say.
I'm not saying that at all. Granny could do a ghost investigation, actually. I think that'd be quite good. I think that'd be quite good. We just need to find
Granny should get
somewhere that she will. Carry on.
Go on.
We just need to find a location that she won't be interfered with. You know.
John O'Groats?
Yep, with rabbits.
Somewhere remoter than that. Somewhere remote.
You don't want to get Granny up near those Highland cattle, not with those huge horns. You get done.
No, you certainly don't.
She can investigate Andy's house. That should be good.
You think?
Well, Granny,
what we'll do is we'll hold a vote. If anybody, we'll do the same as we did the other night. If anybody wants to see Granny do a ghost investigation, put 1. If they don't, then put 2. What was that? I know what Andy's doing right now. I know what he's up to right now.
Yep.
I bet he just appears. There you go. That's a lot of ones.
Granny will get brilliant results. She's got 1 foot in the grave already.
just find a cemetery and sit and wait there then. See if we're moving.
Send her up there with a shovel. The effort might finish her off. Get discount funeral.
There's Brett, Dobie. Your vote doesn't count, and there's fucking hundreds of them. So I take it that's going to be so far it's well, we need to count Andy's vote, Dobie, pardon me. Not that we're excited, you understand. I know, Dobby, it's alright. I understand. I know where you're coming from. As a fellow Scot, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, doll. Don't worry. Right, we'll put that on Granny's list.
Yep.
It'll need to be after a triathlon final, but that she's doing as well around the local swing park.
You do a countryside one and call it Granny Does Sheep.
Seriously, she's an old woman. Have some respect.
She could use them for tampons.
Took a while to put 200 in there. Drew, what Andy and Nicole were discussing is Granny to do a ghost investigation. Nicole came up with the idea. So we just put it to a vote and see what everybody thought. I'm staying neutral in it. I'm saying nothing. We're just letting whoever's in decide Granny's fate, basically. So that's
Sarah, you'll have to get to the jungle sale, get Granny a new dress and some Nora Batty stockings.
Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be interesting. Thanks for the backup there, Drew. You see, if you wanted, if the answer was yes, you would put a 1. If the answer was no, you'd put a 2. So I was actually hoping maybe you'd put a 2, maybe. But you know, thanks for that, Drew. That'd be interesting. Granny's going to need to buy some more fucking makeup. I never thought I'd see the day when I said those words. I need to get some more makeup.
Yeah, right. Can we go shopping? Take him to the cheapest, nastiest
Can we go shopping,
place there is.
One times. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Makeup.
Well, I'll tell you this, Andy, I sound a little better than I did last night on Eddie's stream.
What last
night? That just was the funny. I said
last night.
I sound better than I did last night on Eddie's stream.
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, you don't. Last night I was in tears.
I think I sound better. I don't give a fuck what you think. I think. You know what I'm saying, Sunshine?
Yeah, let me get one of those 10-inch bastard files down your neck and roughen up those vocal cords. I'll lend Granny
you don't need to do that on my account.
That would be worth sponsoring.
Don't you go into your bedroom again? You were in there long enough earlier on today.
I'm sure if you read my wardrobe spot, you'll find something for Granny to wear.
Maybe
she's got a pearl necklace, Beth.
You might even be able to earn some money out of Granny while you're out, Sarah, pimping her out.
Well,
something pink.
Yeah, Granny should
wear
pink.
That's what Granny wants.
You think pink? I mean, pink would go where rollers.
And high heels.
Something pink latex and got 2 little ears on it.
Yeah, with some.
Brett, you and I both are shocked. Brett, you know you and I are both clean-minded.
Brett,
shocked. You're shocked, Brett.
Brett, nobody said there was ever ladies here.
I know. Plus, I can't do anything. It's my birthday after all.
If I was you, I'd treat yourself to a locket.
Well, I
why?
Depends.
You know what, Dobie? I tried high heels many years ago. You might remember this, Dobie. Actually, I used to be in a thing called the Gang Show. It was called when I was in the Scouts, and it was called the Glasgow Gang Show, and it was a show. It was in the King's Theatre in Glasgow every year, and it was Scouts and guides and stuff that put on a show, and I was in it for about 5 years or something. And one year there was a sketch thing that consisted of me and one of my mates having to wear high heels, and it was not a good experience, and I don't plan on ever repeating it again. Never. That's many years ago.
How about some thigh-length boots?
Oh, she'd look fucking peachy with them on in a short leather skirt, wouldn't she? It's alright, Dobie's going to give me a basket in stockings. She's going to donate a basket in stockings. Out of her bedroom.
Don't forget the sexy underwear, Dobie.
You might actually have a bedroom, you never know. You never know.
Can't be any worse than Sarah's dungeon. She needs to knock the rust off those manacles, they hurt.
Well, don't piss me off and you'll not go in the dungeon.
It's like asking me not to breathe. I was fully expecting to get kicked out as soon as you read my comment saying happy birthday, not doing bad for a 63-year-old girl.
I actually didn't see
that. No, they're in my red room, Granny. Oh well, if you need to use them, Dobie, you.
Oh, there you go. You can be in the dungeon together.
Good, Sarah. Finally. Oops. They're back. Oh, I just love Queen Sarah.
I love being in control.
That was just
nothing.
Look there.
Really?
I didn't smell a fish.
In the dungeon.
Granny was there. Granny's sleeping.
Yeah, I think she left a snail trail down there.
Well, I think she's sleeping. I took her vodka earlier on. You know, a wee nightcap. Wee pint glass of vodka.
I'm drinking Gran's vodka.
She likes a wee vodka and a cigar at bedtime. Sets her up for the night, you know.
She managed to quit the pipe.
And a rabbit. That's flavoured water you're drinking.
On, guys, it's right.
She managed to quit her pipe.
What flavoured water? It's right.
Right, well, what was that, Andy? Sorry, I never heard you there. Sorry, say it again.
So Granny's managed to quit using her pipe.
She has, aye. She's got her Hoover back, so she's quite happy. That came back today. She's got the vacuum cleaner back, so she's thrilled.
That's probably why she was looking a bit brighter, because 24/7 on a bong is no good for anyone.
No. Well, she went to bed with a smile on her face, so, you know, I'm not going to think of what she's going to get up to, but, you know, we'll leave that out there to the imagination.
Yeah, just watch for cracks in the ceiling.
It's the neighbours I'm worrying about in case they hear her. Exactly.
As if she mounts that rabbit on the wall and backs up on it a bit hard.
You're just getting out of control now. You're just getting out of control. Well, I think we're going to call it a night because my throat's playing up something brutal, and I need to keep my voice. You know what I mean? What do you think, Sarah? What's the girl boss?
Yep.
Yeah. So, thanks very much, everybody, for coming in. We're back tomorrow night at 10:30 with wee Natalie for Ghostbusters. No Ghostbusters, Ghost Ramblers. So, kill me if I say Ghostbusters. But Eddie's on his own live, and mind drop your links. Age of Darkness, Drew's Parallel. I really say that again, Drew. Parallel Walk. Paranormal Walk. All of that as well. And G.S.I. as well. So, we'll say good night now, folks. And thanks, everybody, for coming in. And we'll talk to you soon.
And thank you for
the show.